Welcome back to In the Blind podcast. I'm Eric Gunderson. This is my co-host, Mr. Stephen Barker Lyles.
Hey, I'm still here.
We are Love and Theft, and today we are joined by one of our dear friends in the music business, a guy that's had an incredible career as an artist, as a writer, and just one of the best dudes in the business. So let's welcome Mr.
What's
James
going on,
Otto.
boys?
Yay. Happy you're here, man.
So good to see
I'm
you.
glad to be here, man. This is so cool. I dig it.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
We're having fun with it. And
As
it's
you should be.
A little bit of a different creative flex for us, a different type of outlet, but
Yeah, we all need a little extra outlet, you know, somewhere, some
Absolutely.
place to put that energy at. That's good, man. I'm glad you found something.
Hey,
Thank
thank you. You know, for us, we were always a big part of Whiskey Jam, so to
Yes.
bring something back here that, in the same place where that always used to be. I think this was the VIP bar. We've said we've all spent a lot of time passed out on this.
Yeah,
floor.
this room is vaguely familiar yet different.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. There's the ghost of my former alcoholic self in here somewhere. But thank you so much for coming on today.
Glad to do it, man. Thanks for having me.
We're just excited to talk to you. You've had an incredible career and
Man,
still going.
it's been a long time. Yeah, I've been going a long time, dude. It feels pretty weird to actually be in town as long as I have. I mean, it's like 28 years this year, which is crazy to think about that I've been here that long. So yeah,
That's nuts.
That's awesome.
yep.
I mean, I just was thinking this morning about things we could talk about, and I think you were one of the first people. I don't know if you probably wouldn't remember this, but I met you like on my second night in Nashville.
Did you really?
I think it was a Muzik Mafia type event, and
Sorry, my memories from those days are a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
and rightfully so. I
What,
mean,
at the Frothy Monkey or something? I don't know. What was
Yeah,
it?
it could have been that too.
it was somewhere. I mean, it might
Yeah.
have been Dan McGinnis or
God, who
or
knows,
It could have been
man.
anywhere, but I remember it was you, Damian Horn, John, and there was a girl that did like spoken word.
Oh
type,
yeah, Jen. Yeah,
Jen, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, because her husband ended up playing drums for us.
He's a great drummer, man.
Later,
Fantastic
Corey,
drummer.
yeah.
Corey's a great drummer. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but that was like, it was just like stuck in my mind. Like
Yeah.
that night,
He's
like
got
I
a good
remember,
memory, not me.
walking up to the front of the bar. I remember like
Yeah.
the bouncers. I remember finally getting inside and like hearing you play. And I was like, what is this? And I asked my roommate, I was like, what is Muzik Mafia? He's like, it's this guy, John Rich. He's got this whole group of people. Y'all all had these rings.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
was like, that is a
came
club that I
later,
would-
so that was later. Yeah, I think Josh Hogue used to say that Whiskey Jam was Muzik Mafia without the assholes. Is what he was gonna say. Yeah. I'm not sure who he was referring to, but
That's good.
That's really funny. But I mean, that's such a true thing because, we think back like, all right, what's been one of the cool, like kind of Nashville staples in the last 15 years? And I would say Whiskey Jam. But like when people bring that up, I'm like, hey, but you don't remember what came before that was
Muzik
Muzik
Mafia was the first thing like that for sure. Yeah, it definitely set the stage for a lot of different nights, which it was essentially just a group of people that were aligned music artists that wanted to like have a night that was something to do, and we all kind of congregated together. It was definitely an eclectic group of people for sure, which is what I loved about it.
Yeah, I noticed that
unique
about
and
it.
different about it is nothing was down the center, and everybody was. And I think that John and Kenny were really good about bringing those kind of people in, but also it was like King of the Hill style on stage, right? So the thing was, you can have the stage as long as you can hold the audience's interests. And that really makes you like, well, either you're going to figure it out or you're not going to get much time on stage.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a very John thing to do.
Yeah, it was smart is what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. He always, and still does. He does things like that
He's a
might
very
seem a
smart
little
guy.
bit like, okay, that's kind of a dick move, but I totally see the intention behind it, and it's brilliant.
Dude,
it really is.
he's highly intelligent.
is.
I don't ever tell anybody to underestimate John. He's always got it figured out. He's 3 steps ahead of you, I promise you.
Yeah, it's really impressive. It's been one of those guys that I've watched our entire career just to see what he's going to do next.
Yeah, man.
'Cause
Well,
he
it's
always-
it's going to be something.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to work too.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
can't.
true.
I don't
Yeah.
think I can even count.
No.
The times where
He
it hasn't
thinks it
worked for
through.
him.
He executes well. He's always got it figured out for sure. Yeah, I got. I've seen right up front, firsthand how all that works, man.
Yeah,
He's
that's
sharp
cool.
cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool what he had built back then, and it's also really cool to see people that watched that and saw it and then took their own thing
absolutely.
and copied it. I mean, I think
100%.
imitation is the most sincere form of
Yeah,
flattery. and-
Ward and Josh were smart, man.
Yeah.
They saw what made that thing special, and also, ways that they could be improved, and carried it on to, become a real brand in town, which is kind of incredible. Actually, a brand throughout country music.
It is.
I mean, now it's like a rite of passage.
It definitely
like,
is.
you really probably haven't had any success if you haven't played on one of his stages.
I've been on Whiskey Jam stage many times, so I know all about it. Yeah, the early days of Whiskey Jam.
Yeah. I mean, Steve was telling you earlier, we started this thing here on Wednesday nights called Cold Beer Country Showcase,
which is awesome.
And our the majority of the feedback, and a lot of the artists we've had are people that played Whiskey Jam early days, and they're like, guys, what you guys are doing here is awesome. It has all the vibes that Whiskey Jam had back at the beginning. And
yes, Whiskey Jam moved their operation downtown, and somebody had the bright idea, said, hey, we should still have a Whiskey Jam like thing here.
Yeah,
smart.
And there's been people that have come in and tried it, but it's like they grow, they get big, and they're like, all right, where can we take this to take it to the next level? But I think for us, it's like, Steve's always been incredibly loyal to us, and it's like we want to be loyal to him,
as you should, man.
Grow something here that's unique to this place.
Yes, and loyalty in this business goes a long way too, man. I mean, all of us know if you've been here long enough, your friend group, you usually rise with your friend group, and you can fall with your friend group too. So if you're not careful, you should always be as loyal as you can be.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really hard to find these days in this town in particular, because I think at least us, maybe we were on the end side or the back side of that wave, but there's still a lot of loyalty in people. There's a lot of respecting the people that helped get you there,
for sure.
And now it just
they open doors,
like
man.
They're on to the next thing. It's
you
can't do this, can't do that for me. All right, I'm gonna go find somebody that can.
I'm sure there is a lot of that. I'm like we were talking about before the camera started rolling. I'm not in the scene much anymore, so I don't see a lot of that. Most of the guys that I've been friends with are people that I'm still doing business with. You know what I mean? I still write with all my friends.
Loyalty.
I'm here. I'm here because I ran into him down in Florida. He's like, hey man, you should come do this. And I'm like, yeah, you've been my boy for a long time. You got something going on. I'd love to come support it. I'd love to come be a part of it. So I appreciate it. And that's, I guess I could be out making new business as well, out meeting people, but being a dad and doing the whole thing. But when I'm at home, I'm at home. I just don't do a lot of going out.
Yeah. You still have your studio upstairs?
Oh yeah, I got my studio up and I write up there and I do my thing and man, I'm on the road as much or more than I want to be.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
That's a great place to be.
I mean, I'm probably
choose what it is that you want to
do.
I'm
probably between 50 and 70 shows a year, which is plenty for me. So
yeah, that's amazing.
That's good.
What were you doing at the peak of your career, show-wise?
Over 200.
Yes.
2008, 2009, when Just Got Started Lovin You blew up and all that stuff. I think I was in my own bed less than 30 days the entire year. So it was exciting and awesome, and also I had been so used to the songwriter lifestyle that I was wrung out, man. And I think by the end of that year, kind of depressed that I had so little money in my bank account for all that work.
Yep. Oh yeah,
I know that's what it makes you feel. You're like, what
you're
am I
like,
doing
what?
here?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So man, it was an eye opener for sure, and then I just kind of learned what the equilibrium is, what I'm willing to say yes to, and what I need to say no to is pretty important.
Nice.
And that's a hard place to get to because this business is such a rat race, and
for sure,
if you're not doing it, there's somebody else that's out there doing it. So you have to be very purposeful with what you.
Brother,
choose
I could be way further ahead if I said yes a lot more, but I also found that I needed some personal peace and hey, this is how I function best as a songwriter. This is how I still have something left to give to the people that I write with, but more than that, to my family at the end of the day. Nice. I gotta have something left in the tank for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Am I right in remembering that you're related to Jay DeMarcus?
Yes, so Jay is my brother-in-law, and the way that works out is our wives are sisters. So we married a pair of sisters, and I mean, God, I've been married to my wife now for 20 years,
That's
and
awesome.
Jay and them have been married for 21, I think it is. So they were 1 year ahead of us, even though we dated for a year longer. I just drug my feet longer, music business, all that stuff. But luckily, she stuck with me all this time.
That's awesome.
And you have one daughter?
One daughter, Ava, who wants to be in this business and is an incredible singer and learning to write, kind of going to Music Row and sitting down with some great writers and starting to learn and figure out what it's all about. And I'm trying to only help steer her in the right direction, put her with writers, but not try to be too involved. I want her to be able to figure it out on her own. And there's good. Man, nobody needs, dad up in the middle of that mix. It's like, hey, go figure it out. Who do you want to be? How do you want to do it? And do that on your own. I'm more than happy to help show you what to do in business and set it up for yourself. But it's kind of fun watching her do it too. She's already 15 years old, so soon enough she'll be running around Nashville doing all this stuff. So
is that hard for you to see things and to see her making decisions and stuff? Obviously, being 15, I'm sure she has to consult.
Right now, she has to consult me, right? But eventually, it's going to be out of my hands for sure. You know what I mean? She and all you can do is go, I hope I did the best I could while I was there, informed her to the best of my ability, and also, have enough respect at the end of the day for her to go, if she's got a question, she'll come to me. Right. That's the main thing right now is to go, did I steer her in the right directions? And that built trust so that she'll come to me later on. Hopefully that's the case. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's best case scenario.
Yeah, right? Man, that's really all you can do, right? Do the best you can, steer them in the right direction, and then hopefully they leave the nest prepared for life.
Well, I mean, it's amazing that she's in a position to make those decisions on her own, but then have the safety net of a dad and an uncle that have made serious waves in this business, and you can always have that advice to pull from. And,
she can also ask her uncle, which is great because Jay's been to the heights of the business. You know what I mean? He's experienced every level in between of the success ladder, and so that's always a great resource as well. So I'm grateful for that part of it.
That's really cool. Yeah. And is your daughter, did she start doing, I feel like I've seen her in pageants.
She definitely did pageants, and she won, first off, she won the Miss Tennessee pageant for, which was NAM, National American Miss. And then she won the preteen title, which was, and she's going to hear this and know that I got it wrong, but it was a junior miss. She won basically international. So
Wow.
It was pretty amazing. Yeah.
That's got to be an amazing. It's like you don't have to probably pay for media training and all this.
Oh
stuff.
well,
I'm sure
the best part about all of that,
the
best part of all of that is that's what my wife did for a long time was media training. So
oh my god,
so I didn't have to pay for media training. Luckily, people would come to my wife for their children and their artists and other people to actually athletes and everything else have that's what she's done for years.
That's incredible.
That kind of stuff. So,
she's got
she'll say that I am her absolute worst client ever. So I don't listen to shit.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Cool. Well, it seems like she's set up to.
I think she
has a great
man.
platform to launch from.
She's in the right position to be able to know a good bit about the industry before ever walking out into it. When I moved to town from Washington State back in July of '97 is when I left. I left on my birthday in '97. I didn't know a soul here. Yeah. I literally sold everything I owned, and most of everything I owned, and came down in the U-Haul with the last of my belongings, and didn't know anyone. So it was like stepping into complete and total unknown, and for everything to have worked out the way it is kind of a miracle.
Did you drive? What kind of car were you driving?
I pulled my old Chevelle behind. I've had several Chevelles, but the one that everybody's seeing me build online was my first car that my dad ended up selling to my best friend the week I joined the military, and it took me 25 years to get that one back. But I bought another one in between that, and that's what I hauled down here behind.
Nice.
So, yeah.
How did you find that? Did you know where the car was?
Oh yeah, yeah. Luckily, so anybody that follows the car journey, it's been like a 7-year process to build it to where it is now.
I've been following from the
beginning.
It's
taken forever and ever. It's ridiculous. But my best friend kept it for the entire time. He had it in a garage, and it had not been on the road since '97. So literally sat in a garage, and it was the best possible scenario for it to work out. And even though I was pissed at him for years because he wouldn't sell it back to me, luckily it ended up working out. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
really
sweet.
Cool. Now, I think I remember you. At one point, you're like getting the top redone, and like you're trying to match everything. And
Yep. And then that had to come back off because we. It's I don't know how much you want to talk about car stuff because I'll talk about that shit all day long.
I would love to.
It's that had to come back off and go back on. So that just happened. It's been a mess, but that's like my one thing outside of the music business. Like I'm not a golfer. I do golf every once in a while, but I don't spend a bunch of money doing that. My main hobby's cars, always has been. I love to race. I do a lot of like autocross racing, which is essentially a big wide open spaces, and it's set up with cones, and it's technical driving. You might hit 100 mile an hour on a big long stretch, but that's pretty rare to get
Right.
that top speed. But we do all kinds of that kind of racing. So and it's something where you actually drive to an event. Like we'll drive to different cities and have these things set up at different car shows and go race and have fun. That's one of
That
the
sounds
most
fun.
man, adrenaline.
Yeah.
If you like speed at all, which I really do always have, I've always been into extreme sports. Like growing up as a kid, I loved BMX and skateboarding and all that stuff. And this kind of was like the next step into that motorsports. I always also rode dirt bike and did motocross and all that. So it's a way to get that speed thing out without being on two wheels and having a cage around you. You know, so you have a little bit of safety.
You think that adrenaline also is one of the reasons why you joined the military, or?
No. The only reason, no. I did not join as an adrenaline junkie. I joined strictly out of necessity. The military was, for me, I had, being from Washington, set it up from Washington State. The only place that I knew had a music scene close to my hometown was Seattle, and that was 4 hours away. And so I graduated high school in '92 and moved out from my parents' house within 2 months of graduating. I was out by that July. I was out, and I moved to Tacoma, Washington, which was right outside Seattle, with an hour drive. And I was like, I went to Seattle looking for a country band in 1992.
Oh wow!
That's how dumb I was. Like, right? I'm not even old enough to get into bars. I can't do anything. I can't go, can't like see any bands. So, but I'm up there looking for a country band in '92, right outside Seattle, and there are no country bands.
Right.
There was actually one country band, and maybe the greatest country band name of all time. They were called Led Stetson, which is incredible.
That's awesome.
It's incredible. Like I was literally couldn't get in to see them, but I know they played like Eagles clubs and all that stuff, and so I ended up getting myself in a bunch of financial trouble. Living in an apartment as an 18-year-old kid on his own.
Right.
And my dad, I was on my phone with my dad. He said, well, you can come home, but if you come home, you're going to go to college or you're going to go to the military. And I was like, I'm a terrible student. I know I don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. My dad was a drill sergeant for 23 years in the U.S. Army. I had all the military I could handle. I'd had all of the Army I could handle from the time I was young. And so I signed up for the Army at first. I went into the to the recruiter, and they signed me up. I was going to do 6 years as a helicopter mechanic. Was what I had signed up for. But I knew I already wanted to move to Nashville. That was the plan. That's what I wanted to do. But I didn't have money to do it. I didn't have any way to get there. I didn't know anything about life. I was just a kid. So they ended up sending me up to the MEP Center, which is where you process into the military, right? And that was in Spokane, Washington. And I remember sitting in this big room, this big open room with a bunch of recruits. Everybody's in there, like, you know, getting ready to sign up, weigh their life, you know, and this drill sergeant walks in the room, and nobody's signed shit yet. Nobody's done anything. And he just starts screaming, starts going crazy, starts yelling at everybody. And I'm like, man, I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
I know how it goes.
Yeah.
And as he's screaming, I see the Navy guy sitting over there in the corner, like in his office. He's made eye contact with me across the room. He said, hey, come here. So I ended up signing that day to go to the Navy for 2 years, which was the minimum you could sign up for at the time, which was, for me, the best possible scenario. Because I was like, I don't have to commit a long time. I can get out and go right to Nashville. And I signed that day and was headed off to boot camp within a month.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Where did you end up at first?
So San Diego is where I went to boot camp. I was one of the last groups of guys that went through San Diego for boot camp, and then they ended up tearing that place down. I guess the only place you can go now is Great Lakes, what a lot of guys call Great Mistakes.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, they call it Great Mistakes. And then from there, I got sent to Guam.
Oh, wow.
And so
we went there one time.
Yeah, out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Basically, it's between Hawaii and Japan.
They have a great golf course.
They do have a great golf course, absolutely, yeah. And it's like a 30 by 8 mile island out in the middle of the Pacific. And I was there for well, most of those 2 years, you know, I was there for, and I was on 2 different ships. I was on the USS Haleakala, which I never left port because they were decommissioning that ship. We decommissioned that ship. And then the one I actually ended up going out to sea on was the USS White Plains. And that was an AFS, which we had jokingly called an attack food ship,
Right?
Because it was a floating 7-Eleven, essentially, is what it is, right?
Didn't we tour a ship there?
Yeah, you probably did. It's
I
probably
can't remember
supply
which
ships.
one.
Most of them are supply ships.
It hadn't moved for a
What does
while.
AFS
Yeah.
stand for?
You know, if I had to even remember what it actually stood for now, I probably wouldn't know. But essentially, what we do is deliver supplies to battle groups, right?
Oh,
So
that's
you're
cool.
going in and out of port, bringing like supplies. You bring ammunition, we bring food, we bring oil, we bring whatever is needed from port out to groups that were out in the Gulf. You know, we're repping those ships out there.
Submarines too? Were there any submarines?
Yeah, and submarines was another one of those things. Like what I found out is Navy stands for never again volunteer yourself. And you volunteer once to get in, and then you volunteer another time to get into the submarines. And,
Right.
man, I don't know if y'all could tell, but I'm like 6'5" and 325
Yeah, that's not your
pounds.
spot.
Be a
That
tight
ain't gonna be for
squeeze.
me,
Yeah.
man. That ain't for me. So.
Stuff you into a rack.
I didn't even
Well,
think about that.
but the funniest thing about like all of that, like the Navy racks are stacked 3 high,
Right.
and they're just like a bus. They're exactly like a bus rack. So I was conditioned by the end of my Navy time to be like, yeah, I can ride a bus.
I ride a
So a
bus.
condo bunk was huge then.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
dude.
You
Oh yeah. If you got a
one of
condo
those.
bunk, you got lots of room. You can sit up and stuff, man. It's crazy.
I can sit up.
Yeah, I'd be like up in the fetal position up in my rack, you know. But yeah, it set me up to know what a tour bus felt like for sure.
That's
really
cool.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So at what stage in your career did you write in color?
So, Just Got Started Lovin You was just released, I think. I think if that's right. I may be off time-wise, but it's close to that time. Because I've been asked a million times, like, how come you didn't cut that song?
Right.
I'm like, well, my album was done. It was in the can, and we were already working Just Got Started Lovin You when that song came out. It's when we wrote it. And, man, I wasn't even supposed to be there the day that we wrote that song. That's one of those things is that Jamey had been at my house the night before when we were hanging out. And my writer canceled on me the next morning. As you guys know, often happens.
Yeah.
Writers are flaky.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Especially on Mondays.
Oh, yeah. It might have been a Monday because we had been watching like UFC the night before, I
Right.
think is what it was. And so I got canceled on that morning. And from there, I texted Jamey. I said, what are y'all doing this morning? You know, my guy's done. He's not going to come, and I've got nothing to do. He says, why don't you come sit down with me and Lee Miller? We're getting ready to write a song. So that's what I did. I hustled down to Music Row and sat down, and I guess they'd been sitting there for a minute and hadn't really written anything, but they had talked about the idea for In Color. They had the hook, and I started playing the guitar part that you hear and started singing the melody for the verse, and that's when the lyric just started rolling from there.
That's awesome.
So I think, it couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 hours. Just
That's
like
awesome.
most songs,
The best songs kind of write themselves.
That's it. And when you're in a room with guys like that, both those two are amazing songwriters, man. It's just, it was lightning in a bottle. That's one of those things you just don't know when it's going to happen. And again, God played a role in all that too, because I wasn't supposed to be there. They told me before I got there nothing was happening, and so it was the energy that needed to be in the room, and things all came together. And man, and that song has been such a huge blessing.
And you just got another award for it. And I saw a picture of you and Channing Wilson getting awards. Congrats on another award.
Thank you, man. An MPA award, which is 5 million sold. So it's pretty cool, man. Yeah,
That's amazing.
5 times platinum, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times like we'll be in a writer's round and like people go through and let's play a song we wish we had written.
Yeah.
And I mean I feel like In Color is always one of those songs that doesn't matter who's on the round. Someone's going to try to play that. And nobody, I mean, I think hearing you play, it's probably the best I think I've ever heard it.
I appreciate it, man. Again,
different kind of soul. Like, sure, Jamey's incredible, amazing
course.
voice. But I mean, there's also just something when you sing it, it just has a different thing.
Yeah.
I
about
appreciate
it.
that,
And,
man.
Yeah, I agree.
and lyrically, it seems like when I've heard you tell the story and stuff, it seems like it's your story and your family.
The story's mine. The song was written from all of our experiences for sure. There was no direct correlation to my story and my family, other than like Jamey and I have been talking about our military experience in there, and you know, I think we all had military in our family. Somebody had been, and so all of those were put into there. You know,
Did Jamey serve in the Army?
Jamey was a Marine.
A Marine.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he likes to remind me.
Of course. Oh,
I said,
Marines always do.
yeah, I said, Marines are just a division of the Navy, or it was just a department of the Navy, is what I said. And he said, yeah, the men's department.
That's great.
He's quick, man. Anybody that is
so
around
good.
Jamey, he's really funny and really fast.
Yeah, I love just how dry he is.
Yes.
Just the deadpan delivery. And like,
So funny.
Yep.
like we're not like great friends or anything, but like I'll see him at Old Hickory or at Hermitage Golf Course and just hear him talking to people at the bar.
Yep.
Like one day I was just sitting down on my phone. He said one of the funniest things. I don't remember what it was, but I'm just sitting over there dying. The rest of the bar is laughing, but it just he's so good.
Yeah, man. He really is. He's first off really smart, but also the dry humor is, I think, what gets it for me. The delivery's always really good.
You writing a lot still, or picking
so,
and choosing, or what?
Yeah, I think it's just picking and choosing. You know what I mean? It's my days of writing 5 days a week are kind of over because I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I could, and I again probably would be further ahead if I did, but on the other hand, it's work-life balance. You know, I'm on usually most weekends I'm out playing, and then
That's awesome.
when I get home, I want to be home, but I can 2-3 days a week. I'm happy to write, and it's usually just with friends, people that I, Channing Wilson, who we're seeing now on the road, which is awesome to watch.
Great.
We just talked about
so,
Channing.
So happy for him.
Yeah, I think he's finally going to get his break. This might be the time where people discover. It's like before Stapleton came out. Everybody in town knew Stapleton was amazing, right? But outside of town, nobody knew who the hell he was. And then all of a sudden, there's a performance that people actually all saw, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's the truth. That's what we all want to see. And I think that's what's going to happen for Channing, too. I really believe that, and he's one of my favorite artists and also one of my best friends. So I'm happy to see him,
Yeah, he's such a good dude. I mean, I just posted something on something to the effect of this couldn't happen to a better, more
exactly.
deserving guy.
And I think most people in town feel that way. You it's one of those cats that everybody goes, yeah, man, I love that guy. He's great. So
yeah, I mean, we said like probably 3 or 4 years on the road that he came out and opened for us just whenever he was available, whenever he could. And I mean, he's the only artist that we've had on the road with us where I tried to go out and watch every one of his shows.
Yeah, man,
because I learned something every night.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and also that voice, man, like you just want it raise the hair up on your arms.
It does.
It's so cool, man.
Like first time I even saw like a clip of him performing on this show or whatever, I was like, dang, I had goosebumps. Like so it was.
You say like seeing me. Did you meet me the night that you met me at Muzik Mafia? Did we actually speak that night?
Yes, because I remember. I think it was Shanna Crooks.
Yeah, Shanna. Yeah, who I saw at the NMPA Awards.
Yeah, like I saw her and just said something like she had just finished singing, and she brought me up to you and introduced me to you, and just was kind and just. Because I think Crystal was there also. Hoyt.
Yes, Crystal Hoyt. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't seen Crystal.
Remember that?
He's got a good memory.
I know. It's nice to have around and a duo. Like, remember, I'm like, what did we do that?
But it was like I was also super. I was super into what I was paying such close attention because I was like, man, this is so cool. Like I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could. So I was watching all y'all just like trying to learn from the back and just.
Well, I could embarrass myself here, and it could have happened way before this. But the first time that I really remember getting to know you guys was the trip that we did to Hawaii. Which is when I met Channing.
Really?
That's the first time I ever met Channing. What was that? That'd be 15 years ago or so, which is crazy.
That was fun.
I was telling somebody about that last night. I was like, that is one of the coolest, best memories I have, but also one of the foggiest memories of anything that I have. I've seen pictures, I think, that bring back memories and stuff.
There was a lot of drinking for sure. Yes.
Oh yeah, that was
a lot of drinking.
The peak of my drinking for sure.
It'd be hard not to be at that place and not have a drink, man.
Ooh, it was a good time, man. I do remember having an absolute blast, being right there on the beach at North Shore, and it was incredible.
I think we had 2 songs that we wrote on that trip. We ended up putting on the record that we did,
which is
after
awesome.
That. And, I mean, for as drunk as we all were, we got some really great songs out of it. I mean,
Channing wrote Black Jesus on that trip, which is one of my favorite songs ever with Patrick. He wrote it with Patrick. which was crazy. Patrick Davis.
We got that.
Yeah.
We got a Darius Rucker cut out of that.
Yes,
like
we
one
did.
Night we were
Yeah.
all just hammered in there singing
Yep.
that. Like,
Hilarious, man. Oh my God.
I remember Stevie Muntz sent me a picture the other day. Like, I mean, I have it saved in my phone. And my favorites, like me and Stevie drew with blue Sharpie on each other's faces, and then like
Yes,
both
y'all did. Yes,
both
y'all-
looked in a mirror. We were like, "What the fuck did we just do to each other?"
I don't remember the blue.
You don't remember that? Oh, I
don't
do.
know.
I do.
don't know.
It was like that.
I was probably
Yeah,
I was
it
probably
like
writing downstairs, and you guys
Yeah, you were being real
horsing
serious.
We
around.
look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're like Native American Indians. Like there's like a feather sticking at us in the back of
Okay,
Stevie's
yeah,
head.
this is
my
coming back
God.
to me. It's coming
Yeah.
back.
And then that night, or maybe one of the nights,
It was a
like,
mess.
we went down to the beach to have a fire, and I decided I was going to climb up in this like tiny mangrove tree, and I thought like where I'd like to hide from people.
We're serious people,
Did that
everybody.
a lot on that trip. Yeah, that was a really good
Yeah,
time.
that was so fun.
Yeah, it was a party, and also a lot of great songs were written.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
amazing looking back on that. I remember thinking like I the first day that we were there, I think I literally wrote 7 songs
Yeah.
that day. That the energy just was that good.
Yeah.
Like everybody wanted to be there and write. And I've done a lot of writers retreats where it ain't that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's all about whatever the energy is in the room, and there was good energy there. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I remember the whole time Patrick Davis was trying to
Oh yeah.
get us to go scuba diving with
Yes.
him.
Yes.
And he came back after he went that first day, and he was like, "Yeah, I came up too quick. I think I got the bends." And then he's like, "You guys should come with me tomorrow." And we were
Yeah,
like,
like,
That's
yeah,
a-
"Oh
that's a
yeah,
hard
that sounds
no.
great. Let's all
Hard
get up
no.
and do that hungover tomorrow.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome."
Jeez.
Yeah, we made enough bad decisions without that. I'm
Exactly.
good, yeah.
That probably would have been the absolute worst thing.
I remember that sushi place being awesome though.
Oh yeah, we went and had
yes.
that
Hey,
poke bowl every day.
Yeah, I had it every day, and I want to remind y'all that I had Pro Bowl tickets for us to all go to the Pro Bowl, and every one of y'all bitched out. Everybody was like, "It's misting,
remember,
it was
like,
raining."
Yeah, some of us I think
drove.
we got in the Jeep we had rented.
Yes,
I
we were
think it
gonna
was,
go.
Us 3 and maybe Tyler Reeve.
Yeah.
And we were on our way down there, and we got to the traffic, and
Yeah.
it, like 15 miles outside of
Yeah.
We were like,
Honolulu. And we were like, "Do we really want to do this, guys?" And
Yeah.
I think you were the only one that still wanted to go at that point.
Yeah, well, because
And-
I'd asked my buddy Jared Allen for tickets, so I was
Yeah.
like, "How do I not go to the Pro Bowl after getting like 15 tickets for everybody? Like, how do I tell them we're not going to be there?"
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
a
dude.
tough
I
one.
we did
apologize.
get really close compared to
We
where
tried.
we
We
were.
We did try. We really did.
Yeah, that was
We
really,
probably turned around and went straight to that sushi joint.
Probably.
I think we
Most
did.
likely
Yes, I,
did.
I feel like we ate
would
there
have
every
a poke
day.
bowl right now. Actually, it makes me hungry thinking about it.
Yeah, 'cause I remember coming back from one of those afternoons, and I think it was either Tyler or somebody else was like, "James is gonna have mercury poisoning from all the
Oh.
fish he's eaten."
Not
Dude,
there,
it was
not down there, man.
Incredible, so good.
Dude, it was amazing. And that was that post spot right on the water. Like, dude, I'll never forget it. That was
The tuna, man.
I
Lord have mercy.
made sure I kept that contact close because I've been there. I've been to that house.
Trissler.
Mike
Yeah.
Trissler, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
he's
been-
come to a bunch of shows, and like we
Yeah,
all
we-
stayed good friends.
He's so cool. He let me go back down there.
I've been to his place in Charleston,
Yeah.
and he let me bring Amy out to the house too once in Hawaii. Went out to North Shore once before.
That's awesome.
You know what? That reminds me, I should reach out to Trissler because he's a cool dude.
He is
It's
such a
been a
cool
minute
dude.
since I've spoken to him.
An intriguing guy.
Yeah,
Just-
like that guy's done everything. He took
Yeah.
us out to the beach, and remember when the Black Hawk came by,
Yep.
like literally rolled by. He was a Navy SEAL, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so
But he was a SEAL, and then at some point he switched to the Army and was in
was-
the Ranger program,
Yep.
and then he was Delta
Doing
something,
stuntman
yeah.
stuff in LA. Like that guy's really an interesting dude. for
I
sure.
remember like calling him after that. And,
Yeah.
Hey man, what part of the world you in? What are you doing? He's like, I can't really tell you, but
Yeah.
I'm close to the Middle East right now.
But
Yeah.
I
I'm
grew a
not
beard
really
and my
sure when
hair
I'm
is
gonna be
really
back.
long for a
yeah,
disguise.
what an amazing guy, dude. That guy. Yeah, those are the cats. That's the division of the Navy that's the real men's division.
Yeah, those dudes are. I mean, they're multi-million-dollar assets. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
man.
the
Well,
kinda-
yeah,
the
you think
training
about-
that they've gotten and
yes.
what they know and where
Yeah.
things they've done and been a part of.
You've done some military tours for the troops and stuff.
Yeah, oh
right?
yeah. I did USO tour over to the Middle East. We went to Kuwait. So we flew into Kuwait and then went into Iraq from there.
Sweet.
And it was. I would like to have done more. I don't know why we didn't end up doing more, but it's always one of those things that, like, man, if I'm asked, I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's going to be an adventure. You're going to go see
Yep.
something cool. And you know, obviously we all owe all those dudes a debt of gratitude. I'm happy to go over there and play some songs for them and sit and do that thing always. I have guys that now that send me messages, said, hey, you came and saw us in Iraq, and send me messages online and be like, man, we needed that at that moment.
That's
you know
so
what
cool.
I mean? And as a guy that was in the military and remembers what it was like, and I never really see anything serious, but to those cats that are out there in the middle of the desert actually seeing shit, and stuff that maybe may haunt them for the rest of their lives, you just don't know. Those kind of moments when people do come over there and see them, it makes an impact. It makes a difference in their lives, you know. So it's definitely something worth doing for sure. I recommend all artists if they get a chance to go do it.
We've been fortunate to do
we
it.
went to Poland this past Christmas.
Awesome, man.
First time we've been away from our families for
That's
Christmas
cool.
and New
Spent
Year's
Christmas
and
and New Year's with the troops.
That's pretty wild.
It was crazy.
Hey, that's a sacrifice, though. You're making a sacrifice to be away from your family, go do
Mm-hmm.
something like that. That's admirable.
Yeah, and for us, it was like, okay, a couple weeks away from our family. Sure, it's a holiday, but like these guys are spending months and months away from their families.
100%, yes,
At least we can do
absolutely.
is just go bring a little bit of home over to them for the holiday season. So
Yeah, it's a cool thing, man, without a doubt. And experiences you'll never forget.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's like we get to do a lot of cool stuff just touring and seeing stuff stateside, but to go over there and do stuff that most people will never get to see.
Absolutely.
Unless you're in. I mean, that's really the only opportunity I would have ever had to see some of the stuff that I've only heard about in stories. And I've got my whole family's military also, so just to even be able to give back in the slightest of capacities is really
man, it's
a
pretty
cool
incredible experience all the way around. You get something back out of it, like, but also, you know, what the things that you do get to see, it's pretty, it's eye-opening.
And I think it's in a very kind of minuscule way almost helps you. It puts things in perspective. Like when you hear stories and you see things, being able to even just the terrain and seeing what these guys are living in and the Dust Bowl and just the hell that they are experiencing every day. That,
man.
You know, we're just not used to that.
No,
and to go over there and sit in it and appreciate it, like the sacrifice that they are making. And
for sure.
Eating the same meal every day and same place in this routine that's got to get monotonous.
You know, it does.
It has to be brutal.
100%. But also, I look back on. I gotta be careful the way I say this. I remember thinking at the time when I was in the military, like, man, this sucks. Being stuck in this boat, going to these places, having to work and do all this stuff, and thinking that it was not fun and it wasn't great. And I was looking forward to getting out and moving to Nashville because that's all I wanted to do. But looking back on some of those things, man, those are some of the best memories I've got for sure. Like some of the most unique things that I've ever done. And I've done a lot of shit, man. I mean, I've traveled the world literally from the time of my military until now. I've been almost everywhere. Like I can literally say I've been almost everywhere. And I look back on those times and go, those were real adventures.
Yeah.
That's
those
cool.
were amazing things that I got to see.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Stuff I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you hear that in your music. You hear that.
Well, thanks, man.
And the guy that you are. I mean, I think the reputation that you have. I mean, I feel like you're one of the few where what you see is what you get.
Well,
and
I
I've always
appreciate
respected that about you.
Thanks,
and,
man.
I mean, I don't feel like you pull punches. I think you're
Now I'm gonna tell you the truth.
very honest, and I think there's so many guys that won't do that to your face, but then they'll go talk all kinds of shit. It's like I appreciate someone that's may tell me something that's hard for me to hear, but it's what I need to hear. And
I think that probably came from my dad and my grandfather. Like they weren't never gonna blow sunshine up your ass. They're gonna get exactly what they thought when they thought it. I'm gonna probably try to say it nicer than than they would, but I'm still trying to tell you the truth. You know, I think that it's unuseful to bullshit people. You know what I mean? If you're real with them, then they know where you stand, and also you know that you got real advice from someone. You know,
and they don't have to like it.
No, absolutely not.
But I think you need people that'll tell you the truth.
And I don't think I've ever had to give you guys tell you guys anything difficult because I love y'all. So, but you know, if you did need to ask me something, you know, I'm not going to bullshit you.
Absolutely. So I'm grateful that we haven't put ourselves in a situation where we need.
I feel like I'm an elder here, man. You know, I'm like for the music business, I'm like 95. It's crazy.
But I mean, also even that, like, there's so many people that have had their time, they've done it, and then they just kind of bow out, and that's it. Like the fact that you are still, in my opinion, in a prominent position in the business,
I appreciate
and I think you've done it on your terms, and I think people can look at the success that you've had and the career you've had. And I know for a fact people are modeling their careers after you because people have told me. And I think it's just a testament to who you are and how you stick to your guns. And I think I've always appreciated that about
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate you saying that. For me, I'm a lifer, man. This is who I am and what I do. I don't know how to do anything else.
Me
I
neither.
literally have no other skills.
Yeah.
So when I think about like what would I do with myself outside of this business?
Restore cars.
Maybe that's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah.
I got to make money to do that. I got to make money
good
to pay
point.
somebody else to do that. Is what I got to do. So
That can actually be a hobby.
that's
if you keep
it.
a
I want it
hobby.
to be a hobby, and that was my dad always built like race cars when I was a kid. That's how I came up with all that stuff. Was my dad? He played guitar. He also played drums. But the main thing he did was he was a drag racer, and he built funny cars and did all that
That's
stuff.
so cool.
Which I thought was the coolest thing in the world as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like your dad being a monster truck driver.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, you'd be like, "That's the fucking coolest thing that I've ever seen," right?
Dude.
And so my dad, built all these race cars, and I was like, man, I had his trophies and all that stuff when I was a kid, and that's where the obsession with cars definitely came from, for sure.
That's really cool. Were you always a truck guy too? Because I mean, I
Yeah,
followed your whole journey with your
look,
truck.
I'm a
and building
country
that.
guy.
Yeah.
I like trucks, man. It's what I fit in.
Yeah.
It's hard to fit in a sports car when you're my size.
Yeah.
So
Is
I
it
like.
tough for you to get in that small truck?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
In the pickup truck,
Yeah.
the '66. Oh god, yeah. Those tiny little. Those are like one.
I can just picture.
Now you just got to think about like what a cab is today in a full size truck. You go out there and like getting in your lazy boy,
Yeah.
you put your legs all the way out.
Yeah.
But in those old pickup trucks,
Yeah.
it's like your knees are up here and the wheels are this big, like
Yeah.
So it's all, the whole inside of that truck. The down at my feet, the firewall's pressed out into the engine bay, so
really?
I can have the pedals further out. I can stretch my
Okay.
legs out.
Smart.
The seats pushed back and like Frenched into the back of the cab, so it's as stretched out as you
much
can
room as you
possibly
can
make
possibly
it. Absolutely. It's like if you ever see like some of the shacks builds when they do like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff, they'll cut the car in half and like open it up for them. It's not quite that, but it was close.
As much as you could do.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
What was
It
the
maximized the space.
Did you blow the engine in a race in that? or
Oh
something?
yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. The first year I built the truck, I went out to Holly LS Fest, which is up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And for those that are not car inclined, Bowling Green is like one of the best places in the United States for like car culture, because Holly is there, which is they've been known forever for carburetors, but they're involved in everything in the business, right? So they sponsor all kinds of events, race events, and all kinds of things that go on up there. And so there's a lot of car events that go up there. And I went up to do Holly LS Fest, is what they call it. And I think I'd had the truck built for less than a year. We'd already been out to SEMA and showed it, and out in Vegas and done the whole thing. And I'm on one of the last laps of the day, and I'm going out there and tearing it up and having a great time. And I get about 2/3 way around the track, and I hear a rod starting knocking, and I'm like, oh my god, I've got all this money built up into it. How am I going to get home? First off, because I didn't tow it up there.
Oh, so you drove it up because it's so close.
I got to drive it home.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing to try to figure out when you're like, I don't have a trailer, I don't have a truck, I have no way to get this thing home. What am I going to do? But yeah, blew up the motor, and so the truck was down and out for a couple of months, and got to rebuild.
How did you get home?
By grace of a friend at the track that had an open space on a trailer and was willing to drive my ass to Nashville.
Oh, that's so nice, dude.
Well, thankfully it was Bowling Green. and
Yes,
not,
it was only 2 hours, not even an hour and a half
Indianapolis or-
away. So yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
So is that the reason that the Corvette Museum is in?
Yes. So yeah,
Bowling Green? Just 'cause
well,
of the car history in
Corvette
that area?
Museum is in Bowling Green because the plant that builds Corvettes is in Bowling Green.
Okay.
But it is also, it works out perfectly that track is there, because I've done a lot of stuff at the Corvette Museum track as well. That's an amazing racetrack up there. So there's a lot of events that happen there. I've done ultimate streetcar events, which is shootouts where guys that want to compete in multiple events to see whose vehicle is built to do all of the things, right? All the things you want to do. So I've done a bunch of those too.
That's cool.
But that course is incredible. That's where you actually see speed, though.
Yeah.
Like,
When's your
you get-
next event? You got anything coming up?
Well, the clutch is currently blown out of my pickup truck, so I got to change the clutch in my truck. And then I got to have an open weekend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the biggest barrier for me to get to events right now. People are like, all my car guy buddies are like, hey man, you coming to this? You coming to that? I'm like, no man, I got to work.
Yeah.
That's on a weekend.
I just love that you're working and doing shows. That's awesome.
Well, I'm grateful for that, and mostly what I'm doing is songwriter shows, though.
Yeah.
Or songwriter shows, or it's just me and a guitar. You know, I don't do a lot of full band shows because first off, the expense is outrageous.
Well, we do most everything, just the two of us.
Well, because you guys can, man. Y'all kill it together. Like the harmonies that y'all have together, and you both play and do it. That's the way you should do it. You can actually make money that way.
That's
you know what I mean.
Once we start doing the math, we're like,
yeah. That's the thing. People go, well, how come you don't bring a band out? Well, you're gonna have to pay me a whole lot more money for me to bring a band out. I gotta make a living doing this. So,
yeah, most of those band guys can go play on Broadway for a couple shifts and make what they would make.
Those, most guys don't want to go down the road anymore.
No, they don't.
Well, back in the day, like there was no scene downtown like this. There was no way to make a living in town for
especially
players.
not for like the young up and coming guys. It's like now they can go as a whole band and just pick up one of these cover gigs.
Yeah.
Play every night. Now it's like, oh, I'm in Nashville.
That's it.
Playing
Tons.
the scene. I'm
the
like,
tips
wait,
are like
totally
crazy
different.
now.
Yeah, they can
too.
make. Yeah, I mean, a player can make $500, $600, $700, $800 a night in tips.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
so
if it's a one-off show, then they have to go be at the airport at 5 a.m. and then they only get paid $500. It's like, how can I make this worth your while? Like, I can't.
You can't.
You have to have the desire
that.
to come out on the road, and a lot of guys don't.
That's it. And then also you have to have enough gigs on the books to like, hey, are you going to learn my 20 song set?
Exactly.
And how many 20 song sets are you going to learn? Like, because you're going to have to be playing them for all of these different artists.
Yep.
You can just go downtown and do it. It doesn't make a lot of sense anymore for players. I get it. I understand. Luckily I have a crew of guys that played with me on this new record that I just made.
Nice.
Those cats usually always want to come out and do it together, and they're at a place where they have other things that are paying their bills. You know what I mean? They don't have to rely on me to be their main source of income.
That's we always
That's
tried.
the main thing, you know.
Well, tell us about your new
stressful.
record. Tell us about your new record.
Yeah, so I went down to Muscle Shoals and cut a record. It's been a couple years now, actually. And man, I've been through the ringer with this thing. I cut a record that I'm super excited about. I really leaned into the soul side of the country soul sound that I always talked about for the years, and didn't pull any punches. Like I'm not under any illusion that country radio is going to play this record. And the best thing is that we're in a period now where if you make the music you want to make, you're going to, hopefully, if you market it properly, you can find an audience that will support that, right? And with country radio, you're always in a, hey, I have to do this to fit into this spot that they're, right? You know how that is, right? I love country radio, and I'm truly grateful because the songs that I've had on country radio were life-changing things for me.
Oh,
for
same
sure.
here.
So I'm not ripping on it at all. I know exactly what it is, but now there's an opportunity for artists to be as real as they want to be. We're like somebody like Channing. Doesn't have to pull any punches. You can make the record you want to make and find an audience. Maybe it's not the largest swath of audience in the world. Like country radio was one of those things that you had to appeal to such a large group of people that, you know, it kind of makes the music more homogenized. It needs to be more down the middle to fit.
100%.
And that's understandable. But now you're at a place where you can, if you have 10,000 fans that really love you and will support you, you can make a living doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they'll buy your T-shirts and show up to your shows, and you don't need millions and millions of people. You can be true to the music. And I think that has the potential to have a better outcome for music.
Yes, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like 100%. For music.
Yep.
Maybe not the music business as a whole, but for music, I think it's better because we didn't pull any punches. We made the record we wanted to make, and that's going to attract who it attracts. And it's also going to repel who it repels. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm for being the most me I could possibly be and see who that brings in. And if that's, if I'm able to make a living doing that, then I'm completely happy that way.
That's incredible.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I will say,
I love that.
I mean, from the first time I ever heard you, I was like, holy cow, that guy has more soul in his pinky toe than I do in my entire body. And just so to hear that you went to Muscle Shoals, did it, and leaned into what I think makes you just so unique as an artist. I mean,
that's the thing.
You're such a soulful singer. I mean, your playing style, everything.
Well, the world doesn't need another Morgan Wallen, right? No. There's 25, 30, maybe 100 people in town who still want to be that guy. Yeah. Oh, and ain't but one of those guys.
Yep.
And they don't, radio doesn't want another one. The fans don't want another one. So the best thing you could possibly be is yourself.
Yep.
If you know who that is.
Yeah.
Luckily,
if you know who
I
that
do.
Is. That's good.
I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to appeal to who I appeal to. And I'm cool with that.
And I think that's why you've been around as long as
Yeah.
you are, because you've always been that guy.
Yeah.
You've always had that sound. You've always leaned into it. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, you've done what you needed to do
Sure.
to get played on radio and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
But even that, like, just Got Started Lovin You. One of
Soulful.
the most soulful songs
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my life. I mean, so if that's
Yeah.
the extreme you had to go
Yeah.
to get played on the radio, then I think
I love that song, and that's a perfect example of we landed in a good spot. It was soulful enough and also country enough to work, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, I love that song. It's great. It's been amazingly good to me. It's given me a life that I could never have imagined when I was a young man moving here. But it's not the best song I've ever written.
Right.
It's not my favorite song I've ever written. So I just want to explore the rest of it, and I want people to hear that. And on this new record, I guess I need to tell you more about the actual album.
Yeah, please.
It's called Self-Made Fool is the name of the record. It's about to be out. I've got a trio song with me and Jamey Johnson and Randy Houser on there, which is the title cut of the record, Self-Made Fool. One of my favorite things I've done in a long time. That track specifically turned out really cool. Wrote it with a couple of really good friends of mine. One of my heroes, Big Al Anderson and James LeBlanc.
Awesome.
And that may be the very first single off the record. But if you guys pay attention to my social media, you're going to figure out when it's coming out, and we'll be getting out some new music to you soon.
Dude, that's so fun.
awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
There's probably so many people excited. I know I am.
Man, I went through all of, I was saying that we've been through the whole ups and downs of the music business with this record. The record's several years old now. I went through a management deal that didn't work. I just had a record deal put together that just now came apart. And it's like, okay.
You own the masters, though, right?
Yes, I own all of it.
That's awesome.
So if you keep on waiting for other people to get on board and to do it when you need it to get done, you're going to wait forever.
Yeah, you are.
So, man, just make it. Be smart about your marketing and put it out there, and that's what we're going to do.
Good.
That's awesome.
That's exciting.
I can't wait
man.
to hear it.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Stoked.
really, really excited. You doing it completely indie?
I think so.
Have a team?
Look, if I'm able to shake something from the trees with a couple of songs having success that makes sense for me,
Right.
then we're up for talking about it. But on the other hand, man, owning it all sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you can do it all on your own terms and not worry about the whole team of it, you know, I've made decent money in this business, but we're able to have a marketing budget. We can do some things. I'm okay, again, doing it on my own and figuring it out, owning it.
Good.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I think also your expectations, just from the way you've been talking,
Yes.
seem very realistic.
Yes.
Like, you're
Look.
not trying to necessarily go, if you
No.
get 15 million new fans, great.
I'm not
Like,
going to go out and spend $1 million to market a song to the radio. That's just not what we're doing here. So,
Well, I mean, and we all have friends in the business that are doing that and
Oh,
going
man.
that route, and I
For
see
sure.
them hemorrhaging money.
yes.
I remember having a #1 record and then riding that wave and trying
Yeah.
to make sense of everything that comes along with that. And
Right.
what happens next after that is not a foregone conclusion. So
It definitely isn't.
There's a good chance you're gonna have to put another $1 million into your next song to get it to do that.
That's
So it's
exactly
like,
right.
How long is that model? Even if you are doing it and having success,
Yeah.
how sustainable is that?
Well, and you got to think about what those songs mean, right? Like, so let's just be real here. Just Got Started Lovin You. It is one of the top 100 most played songs in the history of country music radio. So we're talking about, it's like number 76, most played song in the history of country music radio.
Wow.
It's made me a lot of money from the radio.
Yeah.
But when I went to the NMPA Awards the other night and I collected an award for 5 million sold, Just Got Started Lovin You isn't even gold.
Really?
It's not. It's sold gold.
Right.
That's all. It's never gone platinum. I think maybe people heard it too much on the radio,
Yeah.
so they don't need to buy it,
Right.
or it's just the difference between a radio song and a song that, like, In Color only went to number 7,
Wow.
but it was Song of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a 4.5 minute song, almost 5 minute song. So it's just there's a difference between what works on the radio and what connects with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's some of that. With what really connects with people enough for them to dig into their wallets and give you their hard-earned money, you know?
Yeah, and that's a weird place to be at in the business now, I think, because we have this subscription-based model for almost everything.
Sure.
So there's no, like, I mean, art is almost just, like, we expect that it's just part of life and I should be afforded the opportunity to listen to whatever I want whenever I want.
Right,
It's like,
right.
But I go back to when I was buying a CD as a
Yeah.
kid or a cassette, or even listening to, like, Top 40 radio and having the little recorder where you put your tape in there and try to
man.
record the countdown
That's
that
the old
night so you
days.
can hear that
Yes.
song. Like, there was something that made me passionate about music because of that.
Yeah.
So now for kids that are growing up, or not even kids, adults that have never experienced that side of music and how to consume it that way.
Right.
It's almost like there's such a lack of appreciation for the art and the effort and the time and the energy that's spent. Like, I mean, I think we see it with guys like Morgan Wallen feeling like they have to put out a 40-song record because their fan base is so ravenous that's like,
they're going to eat.
Okay, if I don't do that, now I'm going to go consume someone else's project immediately. So if I give them double the project, maybe they'll consume my stuff longer.
You know, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that as a reasoning. Maybe I guess that makes a lot of sense because you need to have a song after song after song to deliver, keep delivering. You know, for however long that waterfall is going to last. I call it the waterfall delivery. Every 6 weeks, you're going to drop a new song. So you can keep people's attention. I mean, I know that's part of the attention economy. That's what we're all doing, right? But yeah, it's interesting. My daughter, the way that she consumes music is that way, but she's very passionate about the songs she listens to. Like she's huge fan of Ty Myers right now, who's making some great music, with soulful country artist, a guy that's doing things a little bit different. But she also, like, she is into so much. She has a much better musical vocabulary than I had when I was young because of the access that they all have, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the trade-off. Like, you go, well, we also only had however many channels on television when we were, right? You know? So it goes, well, I don't know where I'm going with that other than to say is I think there's trade-offs with all of it. I think that kids are definitely still passionate about music. They still love it. I don't know where the value where it becomes value for the people that produce it, you know, because there's got to be that
very fine line.
There's got to be somewhere in there where it makes sense for all of us to keep doing it. You know what I mean? I've been if you guys fooled around with like Suno or any of the AI, everybody in town is doing it and listening to it and figuring it out, and to go, well, how's that going to factor into it all of it too? Like, I don't know how the AI is going to influence what's coming next, but it's going to. There's no question.
Well, I mean, we hear about AI's going to take jobs, and
people
are like, well, I haven't seen
it take the shitty
anything.
jobs.
I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, can it take the wash the dishes jobs? Why is it going to take away like people creating music and art? Come on, that's bullshit.
Well, I mean, there's a whole group of people like producers, players that make their living making demos. Now, if you pay a subscription service to have Suno, and you don't need to rely on those demo guys, that really
buddy, it's already happening.
They're important
I know it is
to the business, and I mean, now with all these demos I'm hearing are very just formulaic, and they all sound the same. It's like the same guys singing it, even if you're picking a unique voice. Like,
I'm getting this is so funny. I've like in the last 3 months, I've probably gotten 3 or 4 songs from friends of mine that don't even live here. They live in like one's in North Carolina, one's in Baltimore.
Oh, I wrote this song.
Yes. They're like, what do you think? Would you cut this? Would you cut this? I'm like, bro, but it also on the thing it says file, you know, whatever. It doesn't even they don't even figure out how to name the song. They don't know how to put the like your names as the writers on it, or like they didn't even figure that out. They just like did exactly the way they can save it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Everybody's trying. I mean,
everyone's a songwriter.
And if you're not trying it out, you're kind of there's a good chance you'll get left behind in some capacity.
I like to know what I like to know what I'm going against.
Well, I mean, you have to. You have to know, and you can't bury your head in the sand. And, you know, so I've been playing with it and fooling with it. And, you know, when you talk about how little money there is in songwriting anymore, who has a budget to hire players and to do demos like we used to do them? Not many. You're gonna pile up a huge debt with your publisher if you don't. And as soon as that debt's not repaid at the end of your term, you're going to get your ass kicked out. So everybody's going to be using it to some degree. So, and I see it. I hear it a bunch, and I go, man, most of it's terrible. Most of it sounds homogenous and awful. Some of it's okay.
I mean, there's some guys that have figured out how to use it.
I've done a couple demos on it now where I go, well, that's actually pretty cool.
I mean, I've used pieces of it.
Yes, well, there's another way to, hey, I like these drums, or I like these pieces of it, and you can stem it out, and you can use it in a production, and that can make sense. But on the other hand, I just look at it, and I go, man, that's the death of all of my friends and family that make their living in this business. I'm not currently giving them a lot of money, you know, because I can't cut a ton of demos, but I do from time to time pay guys to come do stuff, because most of the time I'm building demos on my own.
Yep.
And most songwriters are. You got a track guy in the room, right?
Yep.
I think that's the death of the track guy is probably what that
Oh, I
is.
100% agree. Yeah.
They're either going to have to scale up
gotta
and
be
move into
both.
the full-on producer mark, and they're going to have to start,
Yep.
making money doing it, or their job's done. I don't know what
Oh, yeah,
that
like,
is.
I mean, I'll still, like, if it's a right for our stuff, I'll build a track because I know that I'm going to end up
Yes.
using that as pre-production for
sure.
whatever I go in and cut.
Yeah.
But now, like, if it's for someone else's project, I've kind of gotten out of the track guy mode and
Because
just
it's a
trying
lot
to
of
get
damn
back into the
work, dude.
writing because
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and they're probably not going to end up using any of what I'm doing anyway.
Exactly.
Even though they're going to go copy the entire
Of
thing.
course they are, and they're not
So
going
I'm
to pay you
get no
for any
credit,
of it.
I'm going to get no money, and so it's just I'd rather just be in there in the song and be a part of the lyrical side of it as opposed to the music.
So
side.
is this already happening? Are people showing up? Because I know, like, for the longest, I was showing up to writes, and people would have a beginning of a track started, and
Yeah.
hey, we're going to write to this. Has this started where people go, hey, I've got this piece of music, and it's something that Suno spit out?
Happened to me just 3 days
Did
ago
it really?
for the first time.
I knew it was gonna.
Yep.
I know it's gonna.
And by the end of the song, I was like, man, it just doesn't have the vibe of that,
course not.
of my AI demo. I'm like,
Right.
well, it's not going to. This is real. Well, that's
We're
just
humans.
that's perfect, and I want it to sound like that. I'm like, okay, we can do that, but that's not
Right.
what this song has
I
turned
know.
into. And then it's just a whole.
Oh my
'cause
god.
we've always had to deal with people being married to demos and like they can't hear past a work tape.
Demoitis is a real disease.
It's a real
It is.
disease. It really,
It really
is,
is.
man. For sure. We all, you sit there and you listen to it, and you've heard it over and over and over again, and it's buried its way into your head, and you think this is the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
But if you actually separate yourself from it for a little while and let it, you probably like the new version better.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I'm finding is, like some of these people that are using these demo programs and
Yes.
stuff, like all of a sudden they now feel like they're relevant as a producer because they came up with this thing by prompting.
You're not
AI.
producing shit other
Like,
than
exactly.
an AI demo, dude. That's
Yeah,
not,
so what are you
that's
gonna do?
not-
Are you gonna try to
bro.
prompt me now as the producer to get
Oh
me
my
to
God.
spit out what it is
Yeah.
that you want?
I've heard a lot of bitching from producers and from writers and artists, but I also go, how do you use it to your benefit?
Yes.
because there's plenty of people out there
Because
that
it's
are
not
gonna
going
figure
back
that
in the
out.
box,
So,
dude.
right,
It's not. You can't put Pandora back in the box. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen. So,
Yeah. So true.
what do I tell my kid who wants to be in the business now? Do I tell her, hey, avoid that at all costs, or do I figure out how to use this to your benefit to some degree? Figure out how you go, hey, I need a demo for this thing I'm doing, or I need whatever. There's got to be I want her to figure out how to produce as well. I want to figure out, to teach her how to use a DAW and to do all that stuff properly. But in the next 5 years, what's AI going to be?
Yeah. And
Compared to what it is even now.
maybe you can speak to this also, but like I feel like there's so many people that, I guess when you say what's AI going to be, do you think that it is completely, at any point, is it feasible that AI will take the humanity completely out of art and music,
Yeah.
but yet
I worry
still
about it.
remain somewhat relevant, and that people will just start to accept this very formulaic, not real thing as just being raw music because that's all they're gonna.
I need to be
access
careful
to.
about exactly how I address that, because I think there's been some of the formulaic,
That's happened
homogenized thing that's already
prior
happened,
to AI?
and people consumed it and loved it, and it's been
Agreed.
Amongst us all, we know that that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about any specific eras of country music, but we know that it's happened. So
What if we started a committee? and it has to go through a board. You have to submit your stems, and it's just a little stamp that goes on your artwork that certifies every single thing
It's human.
on this recording was done by a human.
Yeah.
But it has to, like, you have to submit it. Like, you could even go.
I feel like something like that's gonna be necessary. Because let's look at the political side of things.
It's like the organic stamp
No matter
on
where
food.
you stand, it's like, okay, we have the capability
Organic.
for deep fake videos now. Like,
Yes.
we don't know what's true. It's like there has to be at some point some type of disclaimer to where we're going to know what's real and what's not.
Right.
I mean, I would hope you'd see it in
But
every
isn't
other
that the
walk
problem
of life.
with all of
and
this
every-
AI shit, though, is that there are no laws, and that everything is just like wild, wild west. And
my guess is that's by design.
of course it is.
I mean,
yes, move fast, break things has always been the mantra of
ask for forgiveness, not
you
permission.
got it. And who cares? We're going to bulldoze all of these creatives, and we're going to take away all their jobs, and then we'll figure out what to do with it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know where I started down this rabbit hole with, but it is a weird time to be an artist, and I just go, what's
it's a weird time to be alive. Let's
of
be
course,
honest.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a very strange time to be alive. I guess they say, you know, you're blessed to live in interesting times. I'm not sure that's the case.
Yeah,
I'll take some more boring times. If you could give me some of that, would be great. I fear for the, you know, the young people coming up in this business and what we are going to get. And I also will say this, is that I think that where I was actually going to was somebody like Zach Bryan, where, you know, those productions are, I wouldn't even call them like full-on productions. It sounds like they were produced
they're demos.
they're demos. They sound like demos, and that appeals to a lot of people for that very reason, is because they are human as can be, and they show all the flaws. And I'm hoping that there's a hunger from people, from a large enough group of people that actually care about art being made by humans still, to support that. And maybe that is the backlash to AI, is that people are going to want things that are less produced and less polished, and because that way they know it's human. When I listen to singers, my favorite singers, I don't want to hear auto-tune on their voice. No, I don't want to hear it polished. I want to hear somebody that I can hear the pain in their voice. I can hear maybe they didn't hit that note perfectly up on top, but you know what? I felt what they said. But that's what I'm looking for.
There was angst. There was emotion there.
That's what I want. I want real emotion out of people. And again, I'm not gonna shit on people that use AI to some degree to supplement their work. I understand it. I see how it can work for a songwriter who's knocking out songs every day. I mean, it makes sense. But for the art that hits the public, that I'm hoping that there's a way for artists to continue to be artists. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that quite a bit. Like,
I'm sure.
I remember the first Zach Bryan record I heard, I was like, man, this is crazy. You just like have all these demos and just put them out. Like
you can,
and then all of a sudden you see people start to react to that. It's like, to your point, like these people are starved for something that's is real, less slick and less produced. And I mean, I'm guilty of it as a producer, as an artist.
Of course,
I'm sure you are. Like, you're super into the audio side of it, so I want this thing to be a sonic
sound
masterpiece,
as good as humanly possible.
And I want an artist or a player to listen to it like, oh, they spent some time on that guitar tone. They really dialed in that kick and bass. Like, that is punchy.
We all over-intellectualize all of that shit, though, because we're
the average listener does not give a shit about.
They don't care at all, dude. They don't care at all. What they do care about is, do they feel what you said? And I think that is hopefully the saving grace for what we all do for a living. You know what I mean? It's going to create that space for us. There will always be a large enough group of people that will be fine with music that AI spits out, and it being what it is fine enough for them, because they're listening to it as background music as they drive to whatever they're doing. But the real fans of music are hopefully going to be the savior of that. And you can't replace live performance with AI.
No, you can't.
That's the best.
That's the thing. That's our saving grace, is you're always going to have, hopefully, always have live performance to, supplement our incomes, make it happen for us. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, talking about that with my wife the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, my biggest fear is that, yes, we have that, what you're talking about, but then in order to preserve the AI and preserve the slickness of everything, almost start shutting down venues, start shutting down the live music, spots to where like, and I'm just thinking, all right, what are these assholes, that are in charge of everything? What's their next move going to be? What are they going to try to do to make sure that this thing that they've created that doesn't have any rules, there's no regulations, like,
well, it's going to replace all the guys that were making a living doing sync. Right. Because
no, that's already happened in LA.
It's already and also it's also happening to actors and to the people that make film. So you had that huge project down in Atlanta that they were building these massive studios to create movies and that we're all going to enjoy for the however next 100 years, and they shut all that stuff down because now they know that AI is going to create all this stuff for them.
Wow.
And so I
didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
It was Tyler
Perry's setup. He was investing. It was hundreds of millions of dollars to build this place. And you think about all the people that was going to employ and all that was going to happen there, and none of that's going to happen now, because all of that, it's going to be made on a computer and doled out to us as as entertainment.
Yeah.
So,
and I've even seen it on Netflix and
Of
Paramount
course.
and Amazon Prime. Like the quality of the shows that, like, sure, there's some amazing stuff out there right now.
Yes.
Especially anything Taylor Sheridan's doing. Like, it looks great.
Yeah, I'm a
it's
fan of
awesome.
his stuff.
But there's also a ton of stuff that, like, I watch it. I'm like, that's how they cut that together. That looks like I could have done a better job
Yes.
than that. And,
Yeah.
and even there, it's almost like they're dumbing down our expectation.
well,
To
yeah.
where we don't see these great actors and we're just going to become okay with this, computer generated version of them, and like that's how they're kind of prepping us, in my
a
opinion.
lot of the population will be okay with that.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's,
So we're gonna have to cultivate fans that want more, want better than that from their artists,
Yeah.
from the people that they support.
and I think we'll start to see a lot of collectives and groups of people that are really purists when it comes to music.
Hey,
really
on my new
band
record,
together.
there's no auto tune at all.
Right.
Okay.
The vocals we cut live.
Bingo.
It is a real band. It's as you hear it. It's basically a live recording. So
Awesome.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear it.
yeah,
I mean,
certified 100% human.
There you go. We're gonna.
knowing
You can be
how
the first
well
one.
you sing live,
You be
I
the
can't
first one
wait
with the
to hear it.
stamp.
Got it, baby.
The new
Yeah.
music stamp.
That's awesome. Well, really appreciate you coming on
Yeah,
today.
thanks,
Glad to
man.
be here,
It's
man.
been
Thanks for
great,
having me, y'all.
Great to catch up and
I
get your
appreciate it.
perspective on some
Yeah,
crazy stuff. So,
man. Let's hope for the best out of the worst that's coming. So.
yeah. Can't wait to watch Ava's career and see what she does.
Man,
I
me
mean,
too. That's the thing I'm most excited about, is just watching her grow and figure it out. And
Right.
this is what she loves to do. I still love this business. I still love music. I still love this town. So
Yeah.
she's gonna be up in the middle of it. I'm
That's
still
so
gonna be interested in
fun.
what's happening.
Yeah,
So
people ask
fun.
me, they're like, "Hey, if your son wants to be a musician, are you gonna tell him no? Like,
No,
you don't
man.
want him to go through this?" I'm like, "Man, this has been the most stressful career I probably could have chosen, but it's
Yes.
also my wildest dreams have come true that
Yeah.
never would have come true if I had been in any other line of work."
Look, if
And-
all you want is money, then you probably should go find something else to do.
Yeah.
Because this is not the business to get rich doing it.
No, it's not.
And I've done fine, don't get me wrong. But man, there's lots easier ways to make money.
Yeah.
Lots easier. But this is the way, if you follow your passion and follow what you love, you figure out how to make a living doing it. Is really the thing. So
yeah, and it's when you can get fulfillment out of
fulfillment
doing
is the word.
things that you're passionate about. There's nothing quite like that.
That's it.
And,
Yeah.
I mean,
Gratification. I get gratification for
100%.
pursuing the thing that we all love. Yeah.
Yep. yeah, and I think if you do it with that mindset, it's the most rewarding thing that you can possibly do. And we've said multiple times, it's like one of the few businesses where shit can change like that.
Oh man.
One song, one moment,
Absolutely.
one thing, and
And we've all seen that with our buddies.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
we
I mean?
have.
Like struggling like the rest of us, swimming, trying to make it happen, and then all of a sudden, take off, man.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
exciting.
It is fun to watch.
yeah, it's fun to be able to cheer on your friends too, and
Yeah.
it's becoming far and far less frequent. I think people
Yeah.
that can actually truly be happy for their friend's success, just because I think it is such a cutthroat industry. It's like, man, why not me? But at the
Right,
same
right.
time, why not him? Like,
Yeah,
mean, and-
man, I think, and maybe this is my group of friends. I know we're trying to get out of here really quick, but I've never felt like people were stepping on me in this business to get over the top of me. I feel like I had a really good group of people that always wanted success for me, helped me write, helped me get into places when I needed them, usually open doors for me. I think this community is usually pretty good at most of
I
that. You know
agree.
what I mean? I don't know about this younger generation coming up, but all of us, I mean, if
Yeah.
any of my friends called me for something, if I could do it for them, I would be doing it.
Yeah.
You know? I
And
think
it's cool. I think I've seen both sides of this new young,
sure.
young up and coming group. I mean, there's some people that are just laser focused.
sure.
They'll cut anybody on the way past if
Sure,
they need
we
to.
all know those people. For
But then
sure.
again, I mean, I do think that good people
Yeah.
are always gonna kind of rise to the top, and I think there's a lot of people, a lot of cliques, a lot of groups where they're really championing their friends and they're
Yes.
really behind what they're doing, and they like it almost seems fake that they're so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, it
Right,
does.
right.
Like then I really dig in. I'm like, no, that's legit. Like
Yeah, yeah.
They've been really
Yeah.
picking
There's
each
enough
other
to go
up and
around.
bringing them up.
There is enough to
cool.
go around, man. There really is, especially now. I think, again, because things are so wide open. You're not just competing over the same 40 spots on top 40 country radio.
Nope.
There's more opportunity for people to have success in different little areas in the business. So, man, hopefully everybody realizes we're all in this together. This is a community of people trying to make it work. And,
I love that.
I think
everybody
the
try to work for each other.
writing on the wall too. I mean, it's like there's people that haven't ever had a song played on the radio selling out stadiums, and
That's
like,
crazy.
I don't remember that being
Right.
the case in years gone by. I mean, like
Never
you
has
had to
been.
have radio in order
Yes.
to do that. So I mean, it's clearly a viable option, and you
I
can
think
make
it's
it
beautiful.
happen.
Well, I don't know how many hits Luke that we keep talking about Luke Bryan, but he just sold out. He had the largest sellout of a stadium ever in the history of music.
Really?
Just within the last month, sold
That's
like 120,000 tickets
in Michigan
or
or
something.
whatever.
In Michigan, yeah. So the largest stadium show of all time, and he's never had a like #1 hit song.
Yeah.
So man, make music you're passionate about, man, and hopefully you find a passionate audience.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks,
thank you, brother.
dude.
We
Thanks,
appreciate you.
We love you.
Appreciate it.
Brand new music. Check it out, Mr. James Otto.